Welcome to Hero Wars Info. My name is Ryan. Today we're going to be doing a hero deep dive on Guus, the newest hero that has come out in Hero Wars. So we're going to be diving into strengths, weaknesses, who he's good with, who counters him, and what you need to be thinking about if you're planning on building him up. Let's go ahead and start with his abilities. So as always, like every character, Gus has 4. The first one is his ultimate ability, the March of the Geese. Guus starts the March of the Geese, which lasts for 5 seconds. During the march, gray and golden geese appear on the battlefield every 0.5 seconds. The golden geese heal a random ally for 90% physical attack plus 1350, while gray geese deal 80% physical attack plus 1350, area damage around a random enemy, and push them away. During the march, Guus cannot attack and use skills. If the march gets interrupted, Guus keeps part of the energy proportional to the remaining time. For those that don't understand, this is kind of a double ability here. So he's going to be doing damage and healing his team. But he basically is channeling this, so he can get interrupted. And if he gets interrupted, it stops. But let's say he only uses 2 seconds of it. Then you would have 60% energy left, and you'd be able to see him start to ult again. Now, that is important. That's actually very important, because that could potentially have him put up another armor artifact, which we'll get into in just a little bit. Next up, Feathers of Gold. Summons a wave of geese that give golden feathers to all their allies. The golden feathers cure 5% of a target's health, plus 30% physical attack, plus 5225 health over 5 seconds. Now, as a passive, during the March of the Geese, golden geese give golden feathers to the allies they heal. So, for this particular one, the geese that he summons will give the golden feathers, which will heal your team. And they will also give the golden feathers to allies that they heal. So, it will continually get more and more feathers as it goes on. Next, Guardian Guus. If the health of an ally with a golden feather must reduce below 25%, the hero restores 80% physical attack plus 13,200 of their health before they suffer this hit. He additionally restores 10% physical attack plus 2625 of health for each remaining second that the feather is active. The golden feather disappears when this ability activates. So this only applies to ones that already have a golden feather, and their health gets reduced to, would have been reduced to below 25%, then it basically restores some of their health, and then also does a heal over time effect while the feather's active. And lastly, the Lay on Feathers. Guus's basic attacks are directed at allies, choosing those who are the closest to the front line and who do not have feathers yet. The attacks heal the target by 50% physical attack plus 11,700 and give it a golden feather. So you're going to notice that he doesn't have auto attack that attacks enemies. The only damage he can do is with his ultimate, where these geese come in and start doing area of effect damage, or damage around an enemy, and push them away. So, yeah, he is almost entirely a healer. Now, Guus is a little bit unique that he is a strength hero. The only healer that is a strength healer. What does that mean? Well, that means that it could be easier or harder for you, depending on the other heroes that you have built up to build him up, because it will require different skins, it will require different items that he needs, and he is, most of his actual healing is going to be through strength and physical attack. So that's going to be the primary stat that you want to build up. Now, let's get down to skins. He has magic, defense, and strength. You want to start with strength and then go to magic defense. It's important because everything for him is based off of physical attack. So, strength does give physical attack and gives health. You can see here, since his main stat is strength, then he'll get 1 extra point of physical attack and then the 40 points of health just to keep him alive longer. One point I should notice is he actually has a very high health pool. So Guus is kind of tanky a little bit, even as a healer, which is kind of odd. And the nice fact is he also has an armor artifact, so if he is able to ult once or twice or 3 times, then he's going to be a lot harder to kill unless you're trying to kill him with magic damage. All right, now items that you need to be looking out for. Harunian helms are going to be the main one for all strength-based heroes. So you're going to have to be collecting a lot of those. And you'll also notice there's a lot of Rulers Globus and these Unity of Extremes, which means the Lycanthrope's Fang is going to be the other main item that he is going to need a lot of to level up. Now Glyphs, this is a little bit different. Because he is primarily a healer, that's what you're trying to get him for, but he's a physical attack healer, and he has armor penetration. Now, almost always, I'm going to say always level up armor penetration. This is not one of those times. Physical attack is number one. The reason? The physical attack that he increases by helps his healing. So go with this number one. Strength is number two because it gives health and physical attack is what you want. So go with that number two. Then I would say health, then armor penetration, then armor. That's just my own standard that I would do for Guus. If you want to switch the armor and armor penetration, feel free. His area of effect damage is not a ton of damage, right? So you're not going to really need the armor penetration that much unless you are just trying to maximize everything that you possibly can, and you say, like, I need that area of effect damage. If you're trying to make an area of effect or team where you're just trying to do a lot of damage to all heroes, then that can be a little bit helpful. But again, physical attack and strength are definitely more important. Getting into the artifacts. So his main artifact is this Archgoose Feather, which, again, as I mentioned, gives an armor bonus, which is nice to really stop the teams against physical attack. He's really good against physical attacking teams. That's where you really want to play him. Then he has his armor penetration and physical attack right here, and strength. My recommendation is right here. The Alchemist Folio is the most important because you want his physical attack to be as high as possible. So that's going to add to that. And then it is going to be the ring, and then the armor. Now, the armor can go up in terms of priority, depending on who you're going to face. But if we're just talking overall, what you should be going for, I would argue that it's supposed to be the Alchemist Folio, the ring, then the Archgoose Feather. All right, and he doesn't have any Ascension abilities. He does fall within the healer tree. So those are the ones that you're going to have to upgrade if you want to get him a little bit stronger. Let's go ahead and take a look at Guus in a fight and see what he can do. So I put him up against this team. We have actually, let me go ahead and just show the battle replay. I put him up against this team. We have a Corvus, a Lyria, Keira, Morrigan, Sebastian. So it's kind of a big physical attacking team. And the reason I put him in is because this is a team where he can excel to stop the physical attack based off of his armor artifact. And I actually doubled up the armor artifact with Astaroth here too. But we'll see how that does. So you're going to notice, and I'm going to slow it down, whenever he's going to, well, let's go ahead there. He's going to start to do some auto attacks. And this auto attacks, you can see he pulls out a feather, and he's going to hand it to Astaroth. And that's going to heal Astaroth. And give him an area or a timing increase in, like you can see, some heals, more heals, more heals. But and then here are some of the flock that are going to be giving golden feathers to different heroes within the team, right? They're going to walk through, and you can see here, like whenever you see that like little boost, that means that he gave them a golden feather. And now they're going to disappear. They're going to fly up. That is not his ultimate, by the way. There's going to be a lot of geese around here, so you got to figure out what's his ultimate and what's not. That was just I believe, his second ability. All right, now let's keep on going. And now he's ulting. All right, so now that he's ulting, you're going to see these geese in the back in just a second start to appear, right? And there's two types of geese. There's the gray geese, and then there's the golden geese. The golden geese are the ones with the golden feather. These darker geese, you're going to see them just kind of run up and start their attack and blow up, right? Boom. And there's the blow up, and it will push them back. They're just going headstrong. And the other ones are just giving the golden feathers to the team. And he's going to do that, and you'll see that his armor artifact got applied right there. So as he continues to fight, well, that went away. But if he does get interrupted in the future, I'm not sure if this happens on this fight, but if he does get interrupted whenever he's doing that ult and then is able to ult again, that could give you 2, maybe even 3 armor artifacts very quickly. That will just be able to deal a lot of damage. Did another ult. You know, in just a second here, and boom. There's his ult. And, yep, looks like this team is pretty much done for. Just so many geese. So many geese attacking. All right. So that's kind of where he stands. So let's talk about strengths. He can be a decent hero if he is with other physical attack heroes. The reason I say physical attack heroes is you want his physical attack to go up as much as possible. The way that you do that is you align him with other attacking heroes that can give him stats that are going to be helpful. Think of Galahad, who has a physical attack artifact. Think of a Keira, who has a physical attack artifact, right? That is going to help increase his healing and his damage due to giving him that bonus for 9 seconds. Weaknesses, his healing isn't phenomenal. Like, it is more like healing the entire team instead of one target healing per se. And he's reliant on the golden feathers being there. If they're not there, then he doesn't have any other ways to heal. So it's not, you're not going to see a ton of healing across the entire team unless the fight goes a very long time. If you're looking for like a pure healer, he's not the one that you're going to be looking for. He's more a little bit of a kind of niche character or a niche hero, in my opinion, where he can be good in specific situations. Counters. Anything that will stop healing, like a Celeste that puts out her darkness aura that stops healing. The dark form, right, that basically blocks healing. That will really hurt him because his whole thing is trying to increase healing. Biscuit is also a good counter. I think Biscuit stops like 50% of the healing or something like that once you have him maxed out. So anything that can stop healing is going to stop Guus pretty much in his tracks. Who is he good against? Well, he's good against physical attack heroes. So if you have a team that is physical attack that's going against him, his armor artifact can do pretty good in stopping their damage. And even if you're using him as a tank, then he can start to spam that armor artifact quite a bit, so that it will just make it very hard to deal damage to the entire team. So it depends on how you want to use him. He is not bad as a tank. He is going to be relatively close to the front line, which is probably a good spot for him, since he does have a lot of health. And so I would use him primarily with physical attacking teams. Who is he best used with? I already mentioned Keira and Galahad. Those are additional physical attack based off of their artifacts. Lyria, Qing Mao, they can give him a little bit more damage with their armor penetration artifacts. So they're not bad options too, but you really want to just surround him with physical attackers to try to boost up his own physical attack. Overall grade, I would put him right now at C+. I haven't seen very much that he can do with Osh or Maestro, so not any bonus points there. He's okay at PvP. He's not great, but he's definitely not the worst hero either. And healers are... A lot of healers that I use are very niche based depending on the team that comes out. There's not really one hero that works for every single team. So he can work in some teams, right? You just have to be kind of selective in the teams that he's going to be used in, which is why he's rated as a C+ in my opinion. Can that go up or down dependent on other heroes' abilities that come into play later? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, he could get stronger or he could get weaker, or maybe there is going to be some discovery with a Maestro team where he is just absolutely dominant. But until that happens, I would say he is not a hero that you need to level up immediately. He's a relatively middle-tier hero that you can hold up on. Thanks so much for watching.